on WTOL 11. Unemployment rates in Ohio have begun shifting as we wrap up 2024. What trends we've seen? That's coming up. Plus, both Ohio and Michigan will see changes to their minimum wage rates in the coming year. What that means for the wallets of tipped and untipped workers.
And we are tracking some late day rain and snow showers Monday evening. Little to no accumulation, but what about Christmas Day? Your holiday forecast coming up.
Well, welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Sunday evening. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of your top local stories from the week. Starting with plans to lay off more than 1,000 Jeep employees here in Toledo are now on hold. It was announced in November that Stellantis was going to lay off employees at the Toledo Assembly Complex. According to Stellantis, the company had decided to extend the warn notice of those layoffs, and as a result, no employees will be placed on indefinite layoff starting January 5th. Employees are expected to return to work as scheduled in 2025. UAW Local 12 President Bruce Baumhauer says the changing of CEOs for Stellantis has changed things around.
He knows the business, he knows how to market, he knows how to price our products, and he's already lowered the price on some of our cars, especially our Gladiator. They got a $3,500 rebate on that. They got $3,000 on the Wrangler, and all of a sudden the customers are coming through the showrooms again. They're moving them, and then we got to build more. The more they sell, the more we build, and so I think this whole thing is turning around for us right at Christmas time.
Baumhauer says this should benefit suppliers who were impacted by the layoffs as well. Amazon workers continue to hit the picket lines, demanding better pay and safer working conditions. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters Union organized the strike at hubs in several major cities the week before Christmas to pressure Amazon to negotiate a contract. Amazon officials say the workers are not direct employees of the company and only represent a small fraction of their workforce, so this shouldn't impact holiday packages.
I just want it where I can feel a little bit comfortable, breathe a little easier. They've made $30 billion last year, $30 billion with a B, so we think they can afford to give us benefits, give us a living wage.
Starbucks workers are also walking off the job at some stores in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Seattle, with their union citing lack of progress in contract negotiations. Let's take a look at unemployment claims here in the Buckeye State. Ohioans filed almost 9,000 initial unemployment claims last week. This was almost 2,000 less than the week before. As for continued unemployment, there were more than 54,000 claims filed last week. That's about 3,000 more than the week before. Both Ohio and Michigan's minimum wage will go up for the first of the year. In Ohio, minimum wage will be $10.70. This is for non-tipped employees. For tipped employees, your wage will go up to $5.25 per hour. And in Michigan, minimum wage employees could see their wages increase twice. Starting the 1st of January, the minimum wage in Michigan will increase to $10.56 per hour. Then later in February, minimum wage will increase again for tipped employees. The goal is to phase out the separation between tipped employees and the standard minimum wage rate by 2030. A viral report calls out the federal government, claiming 9 in 10 employees are working from home. Brandon Lewis from our Verify team digs into the data to see if that's really happening.
On December 5th, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst released this report criticizing how many federal employees work remotely. She claims before the pandemic, around 97% of federal workers were in the office, but after the pandemic, it's just 6%. A claim that was picked up by several news outlets and one she reiterated on Fox News.
Now, we only have 6% of our federal workforce actually going into work every single day.
A viewer texted us to ask if that's true. So let's verify. Our sources are Ernst Report, the Office of Management and Budget, the Office of Personnel Management, and the American Federation of Government Employees. Ernst's 6% figure comes from a survey by the Federal News Network, not an official government agency. After Ernst's report came out, FNN explained the results were non-scientific and based on self-reported responses from around 6,300 people who said they were federal employees. In August, the Office of Management and Budget released an official government report on teleworking. It found 54% of workers are in the office full-time. The rest are telework eligible, with 10% fully remote. So it's false that only 6% of federal employees work in person full-time. After Ernst's report citing FNN's study was released, an article was updated with an editor's note explaining the data's limitations and included the Office of Management and Budget's actual figures. Ernst did not respond to our questions about her report. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
The Federal Trade Commission has a new rule to ban so-called junk fees on hotels and live event tickets. The regulation requires companies to disclose all costs to the consumer in a timely, transparent, and truthful manner. It's trying to prevent surprise charges such as resort or service fees right at the end of a transaction, which the federal agency describes as deceptive. The new rule is set to go into effect next year. Ohio lawmakers were debating on giving themselves a pay raise, but there was a consensus from both Republicans and Democrats not to do this. If a pay raise had passed, there would have been a 5% raise each year for the next 4 years. Right now, there is an increase of about 1.7% each year through 2028. The Ohio Casino Control Commission has approved mobile driver's licenses to be accepted as ID. This will allow Ohioans and out-of-state visitors with a mobile driver's license, including Ohio Mobile ID, to go into a casino. Just earlier this year, Ohio's driver's licenses and state IDs were made available for people to add to their Apple Wallet. Hollywood Casino Toledo will be one of the locations accepting mobile licenses. Well, there's a newer grant program in Michigan that aims to support small businesses. The Match on Main program is run by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation with the goal to help launch and grow small businesses on Main Street. One small business owner says this grant is a game changer.
Having that grant money to help overcome the initial debt of equipment and advertising and furniture and uniforms and such was extremely valuable for us.
Officials say another round of grant applications open on January 20th and will close in April. Well, December 31st is your last chance to head inside the Toledo Zoo's reptile house. But it's not being closed for good. Zoo staff tell us the reptile house will go under renovation starting the first of the year. Some of the changes you can expect are expansions to various exhibits for better viewing, including a larger exhibit in the middle of the reptile house. The crocodile exhibit will double in size, and there will even be an underwater viewing and event center.
Behind the scenes will be updated, new electrical, plumbing, stuff like that. The big highlight that I'm excited about is the entire building will finally be air conditioned, which will be nice during summer on those really hot days.
The project is expected to take about 1.5 years, and the reptiles will be kept in enclosures behind the current reptile house until renovations are finished. And speaking of the Toledo Zoo's Lights Before Christmas display is going on now and continues to the end of the month. But as you all know, the zoo is open all year round. So how does winning a membership for your family to the Toledo Zoo sound? All you need to do is text the word contest to 419-248-1100 and we'll send you a link to enter. Or click on the contest tab over on our homepage at WTOL.com. Now, let's take a look at the weather with meteorologist John Birchfield. John, how's the weather looking for those heading out to the zoo?
Well, a few snowflakes may fly Monday evening, getting you into that holiday spirit. In terms of impacts and accumulations, not expecting much with temperatures that are going to be well above freezing. A light rain-snow mix is expected starting up early Monday evening. Doppler radar has been quiet over the course of your Sunday evening. There has been a little more cloud cover rolling on through after a sunny start to the day. Now, I do want to point out one winter weather advisory for Hillsdale County. You'll notice in the top of your screen that purple box does show you where wintry weather impacts are the most likely, and there could be a very minor accumulation of snow or even freezing drizzle. As this system moves on through, a warm front is going to lift in from the southwest. Temperatures are going to climb to the upper 30s, and as this system arrives, it will produce some light rain and snow showers late in the day on Monday. The morning is going to be dry for early holiday travel. By about 4 to 6 p.m., we're going to start to see some rain showers and perhaps a few wet snowflakes and freezing drizzle, mainly to the north and west of Toledo. Over the course of the evening, temperatures will stay generally above freezing, and any snowflakes that fly are going to have a tough time sticking. Any accumulations should be very minimal. We do dry out for Christmas Eve as that system departs, so you can plan on a mostly cloudy, mild and dry day. And into your Christmas Day, we are watching a system that's going to be rolling in from the southwest, and it could deliver a few, not snow, but likely rain showers. Impacts out of Monday evening's system include mostly just rain and melting snow for northwest Ohio. However, areas north and west of Lucas County could see minor travel impacts. That includes Fulton, Williams, Lenawee, and Hillsdale counties shaded in blue. Forecast for your Monday features temperatures well above freezing. Late rain and snow possible. It is going to be a little breezy with southwesterly winds picking on up. Temperature-wise, we start off the day cold. That warm front lifts on in by the afternoon. You'll notice temps close to 40 near Findlay and south of Toledo, and we stay above freezing through the duration of that weather system. Weather impacts for your Monday. Late day travel will be affected by rain and snow. Even though most of the roads are just going to be wet, areas north and west could see a slushy coating or some freezing drizzle. Dry and milder weather for your Christmas Eve, likely melting away any snow that does stick, and Christmas Day temperatures near 40 with a couple of rain showers possible. Those white Christmas chances are close to zero at this point. If there is any hope for a white Christmas, likely to be closer to Hillsdale County, where a slushy coating may be possible. Now, the long-range weather outlook still continues to trend mild through New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and December is going to end on a warm note. We're also going to have several rain shower chances into next weekend. Look at those highs making it up to 50 degrees, and the 10-day forecast officially takes us through New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We're going to ring in the new year with temperatures above average and a very slight chance for a rain or snow shower on New Year's Day. Michael?
All right, thanks, John. Well, if you're still wrapping presents, you might want to be cautious about what you do with the boxes the gifts came in, whether that's a new TV, washing machine, phone, Xbox, or any other expensive gift. If you put those boxes out to be picked up, you're letting thieves know what you have, and sometimes they'll even scope out a neighborhood. Now, as far as getting all decked out for Christmas, we're willing to bet many of you have a tree up that's covered in ornaments. Well, the tradition of Christmas ornaments started back in Europe, and where to this day, a few craftsmen still make them the old-fashioned way. Take a look.
Ornate, detailed, sometimes cute. The Christmas ornament is not just ornamental. It's tradition being kept alive by hand in this quaint workshop in Bulgaria. The 27 artisans here are part of a social enterprise employing people with physical or mental disabilities. They are some of the last craftsmen in the world making glass ornaments without the use of molds. It's a painstaking process. Over a flame, artists melt the glass, blow it into shape, and add special touches, like this bell made by master glassblower Ivan Stanvev. The trend is mass production of plastic ornaments in China, he said. There are very few craftsmen left. A few more can be found in the Czech mountains, where they perfect purling, a glass-blowing technique.
We are the last company in the world which produces Christmas ornaments from blown glass beads. The tradition still continues in the families.
The first glass ornaments were made in Germany, where the idea of decorating a tree at all began in the 16th century. At first, fruit and nuts were added to winter trees to symbolize the promise of spring to come. In 1847, German Hans Greiner invented a glass version of those decorations, called baubles. Queen Victoria was a fan, and they spread through Europe before coming to America. Today, most are made with molds and plastic materials, but a few bastions of craft remain, where behind every ornament is an artist. Lee Canary, CBS News, London.
Well, as Christmas Eve nears, so does a beloved tradition, tracking Santa's sleigh with NORAD. Now let's take a look at how this magical mission started and what it brings to families today. The NORAD Santa Tracker began almost 70 years ago with an unexpected twist. A department store ad misprinted the phone number for Santa, leading children to call NORAD's predecessor instead. An Air Force colonel answered and played along, giving updates on Santa's journey, and just like that, a tradition was born. Now, more than 1,000 volunteers at NORAD's Colorado Springs headquarters field over 100,000 calls each year from kids worldwide.